Slightly late with my day 2 review, but it's pretty good. It was a good reason. We went out to a big party last night, and I didn't get back in till about 3:30 in the morning, so we were all quite knackered, so I didn't really feel like doing a video blog at 4 AM. But there you go, it's all part of South by Southwest. So yesterday I went to part 1 of the right way to wireframe, which was really interesting. A couple of guys from a couple of different agencies talking about their different approaches to solving some UI problems and some user experience problems for one website that they were both co-collaborating on. And they basically, what they did was they went and interviewed the lady whose charity it was that they were going to do this website for, and then they devised it separately how they would tackle it, and the rules were that they each had to have their own method of using it, of solving the problems, and they had to use different software each. They couldn't use the same software. So it was just analysing that and seeing what the end results were, which was really interesting, and quite a lot to think about in terms of what we do at 360. Nothing out of the ordinary, but just ways of doing more with what we already use to do user experience and wireframing and prototypes and all the rest of it. So that was really good. And then part 2 was scheduled to be right after that, but it wasn't actually a part 2. It was the same as part 1, but it was just 2 different people presenting. So it was actually a team of 4, or 4 friends all together. And so the second part was basically exactly the same as part 1, but just the other 2 guys' approaches and the separate software they used. So I didn't hang around for that, because they basically covered so much in part 1. They were already skipping through the beginning of part 2 and recovering old ground anyway, so I ducked out of that and then ran around the conference hall like a lunatic. I think I tried 4 other different talks, none of which were particularly grabbed me, and changed floor 3 times in about 20 minutes, so I got a good workout if nothing else. And then in the afternoon I went to see Zoe Frank talk about the creative lifestyle, which was absolutely hilarious. That didn't disappoint at all. But apart from all the laughs, there's some really interesting stuff in there about how he challenges himself, how he gets over his fear of being creative, how he exploits ideas and all that sort of stuff. So lots of inspiration and some quite off the wall stuff, but loads of really good banter as well. He's a very, very funny man, which was fantastic to see. And then after that I went to Social Web Security from Psychology to Programming, and that was kind of it was a bit woolly in terms of talking about phishing, in terms of how you can change user interfaces to show people that they're either safe or they're not safe. Things like when you're on a secure site in Firefox, the whole block at the top of the address bar changes colour so that you know that it's a secure one, but also highlighting interface and user experience problems and stuff like Facebook Connect, which is really easy to fake, it turns out, and I didn't quite appreciate that, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, just faking that pop-up window seems to be really, really easy, and you can just rip off their assets, so they gave that as an example of a bad design, so a bit to think about there. But after that they started talking about using distributed services like OAuth to stop people having to put their password in for one service into another service and stuff like that, which is kind of stuff we've covered already. So so I didn't stick around for too long in that one, but there was some good stuff, and the setup was great and the slides were good, but started covering ground I'm already quite comfortable with, so ducked out of that one. Oh, detail I didn't put in my last video blog was I'm actually writing all my notes for each talk I attend as Google documents, and I've actually put them onto Google Docs in a South by Southwest folder, and that's got subfolders in it for every day, and so all the talks I've been to, there's a document for each one under each day. So if you go to bit.ly/Pete@SXSW, and that's at as AT, so Pete@SXSW, that links you straight through to the Google Docs folder for my South by Southwest notes, and you can read all those in there. So yeah, hopefully we'll find those interesting and useful. Tonight we are going to the Web Awards from about 6 o'clock. I'm going to go and see Peter Molyneux talk about the emotion engine, can video games elicit emotion, which should be very interesting, talking about how people can interact with technology and how technology can stimulate emotion, hopefully. And then it's the big Mashable VIP party later on after the Web Awards have finished. We're probably going to meet up with a couple of guys from E3, Mike and Stuart, who we've seen a fair bit of lately, top blokes, good fun. So yeah, that'll be later, and I would imagine I'll be not getting to bed at a sensible hour again. So I'll probably do my next video blog tomorrow, some point. See you then.